Hi everyone, my name is Danielle Hawataria and I'm the author of Uplift and Empower, a guide to understanding extreme poverty and poverty alleviation. In this video series called #Doing the Work, I'm interviewing nonprofit leaders who embody the spirit of Uplift and Empower and are contributing to poverty alleviation efforts in their communities and beyond. Today, I'm talking to leadership from the Youth African Business Booster based in Rwanda. Enjoy.
All right. Yeah, thank you so much for organizing this and reaching out, and thank you so much for having that passion, poverty alleviation. My name is Norman Mugisha, and I'm the founder of YABB, or Young African Business Booster. So I started YABB in 2019 in and I designed it as a graduation project while at Earth University. I did my undergraduate in agriculture sciences in Costa Rica, in Central America. So then I had always had the passion of contributing to poverty alleviation, mostly the communities where I come from, like specifically in Rwanda, where you find like communities are still living in poverty. Mostly young people are still facing it really challenging to meet their daily basic needs, also to achieve their dreams or to put their ideas in action. Doesn't mean however much they're in poverty or they're in rural communities where they don't have facilities, it doesn't mean like they don't have brilliant ideas. It doesn't mean that they don't have ideas that could contribute to socio-economic development of their communities. They do, but what I realized what they really do lack is somebody who can just give them a kind of a direction, who can support them in one way or another to help them, move forward. So straight away to some of the occasions, or maybe the background of YABB. So when I was designing the program, I realized like actually like that comes in as why actually YABB is really focusing on poverty alleviation and also on young people specifically. I found like in the World Bank published an article which says that in Africa, each year there are 3 million jobs on the market, but unfortunately, there are also more than 10 million young people on the job market looking for the market. So it means like only if they're looking for the market and only available is 3 million jobs, 3 million opportunities, that means it leaves more than 7 million young people unemployed each year. And also add up to that, because like we have like in most like developing countries, in rural areas, you find like there are no facilities to support young people. There are no like more opportunities like one that can attract young people to stay in their communities. So what they do, they say, okay, maybe they may migrate to go to the capital city. If it is here in Rwanda, let's go maybe to Kigali. Maybe they might get a job. Unfortunately, they come and find is also Kigali is overcrowded with young people who are also looking for jobs. There are no opportunities for them. Then the next step would be, okay, now we came to Kigali, there are no opportunities. Maybe they may go abroad. Maybe they go to neighboring countries. Maybe they go to other places, are also looking for jobs. So they find there is also migration of young people, also resulted into migration of young people migrating from rural areas to urban areas and even abroad, looking for better standards of living. So my idea was, how can we train these young people, those who are motivated, those who are interested, on how they can start their own ideas, on how they can start their opportunities, do their own businesses in their communities and contribute economic development of their communities and even of their families. So why we focused on agriculture is, agriculture, first of all, is the backbone of our countries, including here in Rwanda. And you find like the workforce, the majority of the workforce so like is in agriculture. But unfortunately, young people haven't realized the untapped opportunities that are in agriculture that could generate opportunities for them. So they always take opportunities as the last option. They take agriculture as the last option. So the system we have, like you saw, I want to graduate. If you go in like in secondary schools, in primary schools, and you ask, hey, what do you want to be? You ask a student who say, I want to be a doctor, I want to be an engineer, but you don't find somebody who say, I want to be a farmer, I want to do like in food industry, I want to do that. So everyone is just his eyes or her attention is just focusing on this, being an engineer, being a doctor, being a lawyer, being a president, being, but which is really at the end, the reality is, we are not having
thousands, yeah, millions.
20% of the population being engineers, and there are no opportunities, of course, like these are developing countries. Uh, there are no more industries that can generate job opportunities for them. So the job opportunities which are available are very, very limited. So what we need to do is, if we want to develop our communities, if we want to empower our country, is to empower young people, because they are the future generation of our country. They are the light, they are the strength of our communities. So if you don't empower them, then we are going to remain in the same, again, the circles of poverty. They are being raised in poverty. They give birth kids in poverty. Their kids grow in poverty, and you know the circle will never end. And so when you have a problem, instead of solving it, and then problem keeps, it's like when you have a wound, like you are trying to cover, oh, we have sickness. So you're trying maybe to recover. Instead of recovering, you're adding on things that can not increase the sickness. So what you do is improve the sickness. So the same as if you have the problem of unemployment, what we do is, how can we empower young people? How can we help them look at different opportunities? And I realized that there are many opportunities that have been tapped in, have been used in agriculture. Let's talk about technology in agriculture. Let's talk about packaging. Let's talk about logistics in agriculture. Talk about food processing and value chain. Talk about the different value addition, processing. There are many ways. Improved seeds, and there are a lot that could be, like, really be for the opportunities for them, but unfortunately most of them, they don't have realized. So what is YABB is doing right now is to help them, look at those opportunities. So we use our capacity building in doing this one. We're using a capacity building package, or a capacity building program,
Right.
which has a set of tools to help these young people develop the idea. So we don't actually, for us, we don't give them ideas. No, we don't come say, hey, do this. No, because what we are looking at is developing their passions, developing their ideas, the ideas they have. So when they, like, let me give you the how we started a little bit. Like, when you go to the community, we say, hey, we talk to local leaders. We describe ourselves as YABB. We are looking for young people who want to be in this community, and they are unemployed, but they are also committed to start their own businesses in agriculture, agribusiness. So they give us normally in communities, they come when they're like in hundreds. Most of them are the first day. Then we talk to them. So then we divide them in groups. Like, maybe if you want more reasons as why we help them work in groups, having a co-founder, a co-worker in their business. I can let you know why. So after putting them the ideas, then we in the groups, then we tell them, okay, now come up with at least 3 ideas, 3 business ideas that you can do. Let's say, first of all, we're going to do poultry. And the second, we are going to do raise pigs. And the third one, we are going to grow vegetables. Okay, now we have the 3 ideas: poultry, pigs, and also growing vegetables. So among the 3, when we look at them, which one has the market? When we look at the market, we look at the resources available, we look at the demand, we look at everything. So we have to do going with them, sitting with them in each group. Like, each group has to come up with their own idea. So now we are working with them separately, on individual, on each group. So we look at each group. Okay, you have selected these ideas, the 3 ideas. Which one? Then we go look at different characters and different resources they have, and other different measures we can see. Then they decide, okay, depending on what is available, depending on what we can do, depending on the market, depending on the demand, depending on the resources we have, we are going to choose maybe growing vegetables. Okay, now we are going to grow vegetables. So if you're going to grow vegetables, what do you need? We need the A, B, C, D. Maybe we need seeds, we need land, we need fertilizers, we need this, we need market. So now we help them now to develop their own business plan, like a timeline, like action plan, how they're going to implement each. And at the end, then we look at the budget. So how much do you need? Since the majority of these young people, like why our capacity building package is very strong. So we are not looking at providing skills, not only giving them the skills, because if we look at other organizations, like maybe down there was another, like other NGOs tackling poverty alleviation, some other organizations come and give skills and go away and disappear. Some come and give donations and disappear. But you're giving skills, and these young people don't have financial support. They're young, they're in rural areas. And like a person like me, if I'm from my family, right now, I can't go in my family's house. I say, okay, I want to take our house as a collateral security and go to the bank and they give them money to start the loan. My family won't accept that one. And same applies to other young people like me in different communities. So they don't have a way of how they can even access financial support because they can't get a loan. So if they have the skills and they don't have financial support, so they're going to die with their skills in their heads. So now what we do is giving them the skills and also provide financial support. But the way we provide financial support, it's not like a donation, because we want also to them to take the responsibility. We give them as a form of a loan. And the idea of giving them as a phone is for them to work so hard so they can pay back that money. So when they get that back, the money they give it back to YABB, then we use the same money. If the one group provided them, then to give it another group. So to maintain or to make the program or the project much more sustainable. So apart from now, from the skills, from the financial support, then we give them mentorship. We provide mentorship for them. So there is somebody. So whenever we select someone, we work with them at least for the period of 2 years. So we know that after the period of 2 years, actually we know that this is already successful business idea. But the efforts are being put in the first year. So the first year is when there's creation, like we start from scratch. We're imagining like we're going to get these young people who have just ideas. They just only have ideas, but they don't have don't have even implementation. We start from an idea, like from the scratch, like from when they don't have any idea, like they have an idea, but they don't have any implementation. They haven't done anything. So then we help them now start implementation. For the first year is implementing if they're going to grow vegetables. So the much efforts were put it much more in the first year when they're in the process of implementing their business ideas. And then the rest is just mentoring, visiting them and see how the progress are being made. And because we're giving them this loan, we don't like pressure them now, bring back the money like in the next or after the first season. No, they have to pay in small installments, paying back slowly, depending on how they're making profits until the 2 years. That's why we give them the whole 2 years. So because we need that money at least to help them also advance in their program. There are even those when they're already operating and they need more financial support, and actually we support them along the way. And so that's why our program, and also we connect them with other opportunities. So if there are other opportunities like applying or competition or challenges, we help them because I already helped them create their business plans. So we help them apply for government incentives for other different opportunities. And like recently, like those in agriculture, we created, because like majority in rural areas and they don't have access to stable market, we created an online platform. It is called AfriFarmers Market. So it's an online platform where they can sell their produce, and we're looking at how they can connect them with the market, maybe abroad, export their produce. So because if they're in agriculture, the only source of income will come from the harvest. So if the harvest doesn't have the market, then it means they're not going to make money. So that's why our capacity building program is really strong. So to add on that one, why it is also more strong, we use the philosophy of learning by doing. So we don't go and teach them about how to start a business and doing the business, then later they do the business. No, while we are teaching them, they're also like hands-on practice. They're also really executing their business ideas. And that's what has been made like very challenging. You can imagine we started in 2019 in June, beginning of June. And at this moment, we have more than 900 right now. I haven't updated on the website, but now we have 937 young people in our program. And all of them already have their own business ideas going on. I think that's what has been us like in the shortest period of time has made us more successful. So yeah, there have been other challenges. Of course, in trying to engage these young people on how to to do business in agriculture. They first have that stereotype like agriculture is for for poor people, for people who like you have to be dirty. But I always like we have to change that mentality. The first course, actually, one of the courses is opening their minds and having setting goals for their future. Why do they? So opening their minds, when we have that opening their mind, and we are trying to convince them, trying to show them the opportunities, trying to show them the data, how many the billions of money that the country spends on importing food from abroad. that is a market for them. Even on the large continent, why do we have to import food? Why do we have to import processed food? Why can't they do it? Why do we still face famine and there is hunger in their communities? Why do they are poor and they have resources? They have a piece of land. How can a small piece of land into something that can be productive? How can now make agriculture more sexy? I'm sorry to use that word, or more attractive for these young people, for these young people to see, to realize actually in agriculture, you can do agriculture like using different ways like hydroponics, aquaponics, different ways of processing, logistics, and different ways where actually being a farmer or working in agriculture, having a group business, having a group business doesn't mean that you have to go in the farm and actually hold the hoe and dig and all that. However, there are even other challenges, like lack of facilities. Like right now, because of COVID, these are young people who don't have, the majority of them, they don't have smartphones. They don't have access to smartphones. So they don't have computers. So it is hard for me now to train them while like we're in a lockdown. Like right now in Kigali, right now, we are in another lockdown. We can't leave our home. So it is quite challenging on how to reach them. So if you want to integrate more of technology, it is kind of, maybe you need to buy everyone a smartphone. But what I did was to make sure like maybe because they work in groups, so they have like a group representative, and I make sure like I can pass some information and share with the rest of the group since they are in different parts of the community. So there's some like other facilities, maybe they want to come up with business like in processing, they don't have electricity. There are some other lack of facilities that are hindering them implementing their business ideas. But right now, what we're working on is to make sure like all those the facilities are really, really available. And that's why we created that online platform. And we put a track that goes collecting from those who are in agriculture, who are producing agricultural produce, a track that goes collecting all their produce and sell it online.
You've covered a lot
so
so far. How can we like, I guess like let's kind of like circle back, I guess, to some of the earlier topics you mentioned, kind of dig into them a little bit more. So one thing you mentioned was the importance of groups and how that factors into how the students that come to you, the young people that come to you rather, are connected along with their business ideas. So could you kind of dive into that with a little bit more detail? Why did you decide to put people into groups, and what benefits do you see from that as well? One, you've given a lot of examples already, but one of them that you mentioned was how it's easier for you to like share information if they're in groups, or like it's easier for you to connect with their group leaders. So can you dive into that with a bit more detail?
Yeah. Thank you so much. The reason why I would decide to put them in the groups, because first of all, we're looking at inspiring them. So whenever I really do believe that when there is like different resources put together or different ideas, different heads, like one head is better, two heads are better than one. So majority when they're in agriculture, when you're starting like business and they don't have much experience, it is very easy for somebody to give up, right? But when they are together, they can, you find some of them actually they have like they've been doing agriculture. Actually, whenever we put them in groups, some say, I have been doing this one, I have the experience, and like, hey, let's do it. This one, like they bring different ideas, they support each other, they even put together resources. Like, let me give you some examples. When you put them like the group of 10, like some like 2, they have the piece of land. Then say we have land at home and we are not using it. So let's use this land. And now they're not going to worry about the land. Now they're going to worry about now where to get the money. And now YABB is going to give them the money for the inputs, like to buy fertilizers, to buy seeds, to buy pesticide and other things like they really need. Now they have already solved the problem of land. So I've been seeing like really, and I had like one idea, like where we supported one, but he was trying to convince us that he can do it alone by himself. But at the end, honestly, it was at the beginning, but the experience wasn't really wasn't motivating for us to keep supporting individuals. So it was like kind of really challenging. Actually, we have some which are individuals. Actually, there are 10 business ideas that are individuals, but those ones, it is a separate. There is an organization that we partnered with recently, and so that it is called Cornerstone Development Africa, where they have their students, like Cornerstone Development Africa. They have like they provide education, high school education for students in Uganda, Tanzania, Southern Sudan, Rwanda, and they have other different activities like in Kenya, Burundi. So the way like they always have like the young like students who already graduated the university, so that, and they don't have jobs. So what we negotiated with them is to help them with the university graduates, but those ones now are university graduates. So what they did, the organization, what they did, they provided financial support. Then for us, what YABB is doing is to help them. Now we help them develop their business ideas and then how they can use the resources that has been provided by the foundation, by that organization, on how they can use it effectively while executing their business ideas.
Awesome.
But for us, for the YABB, we for the primarily those ideas. Maybe in the future we can look at how we can support an individual, but also right now, like on resources, let's say, like I right now, maybe apart from the GoFundMe, but from the beginning, I started by myself, and I didn't have all the money, and I believe like so each group normally we give them like up to maybe like $300 to start, because like the majority want agriculture. And you find like when you give them a $300, let me give you like a small example. So when you give them, like I give one group, actually some of the success stories right now I could share with you. We gave one group $300 to start their own business. And after harvesting, when they harvested, like from the harvest, they harvested almost like, was it like 870 something USD from the harvest. So you can mean like the investment was $300, and they have like they made a profit of more than $800, and they were so happy. And that $800, like because they are 15 in the group, you can see how the impact now they use that money to expand and do a lot of work, expand on their agriculture activities, expand on their business, and add more investment. Now they started with 300, now they have more than like 800. Now they want to put more, and you can see now, instead that money would have gone to support one individual, but now it is supporting 15 young people, and they are motivated, and even they inspire others. So those are some of the reasons as to why we thought maybe supporting group would be really, they support each other, they encourage each other. Where one is weak, they are, let's go, let's push, let's keep pushing. And even that is good, because we give them this money, they don't get like a corridor security, like if we don't pay back this money, so we are going to take this in return. No, it's just out of trust. We trust them because we have already trained them. So, but when they're in a group, they say they are accountable for one another. So one cannot decide to use the money. But if as an individual I get a problem and get a loan from YABB, I get money from YABB, I can be easily to divert and use that money for my personal things or expenses that are not related to the business. But when they're in a group, no one can take his or her own decision. They have to be a group decision, and that's why we also prefer that way.
That makes total sense. And so actually kind of digging into the financing as well. So you mentioned that YABB provides loans to individuals, and you also mentioned there's potential for government support as well. So can you talk a bit more about how you fund YABB and support YABB? So you mentioned your GoFundMe, so that's one way that you support YABB, but how do you go about acquiring funds to help the young professionals you're working with?
So at the beginning, I didn't have any financial, because I believe that before I share the idea with somebody to request or to convince somebody to support my idea, I had first prove that actually the idea works. I still had only the idea on the paper, right, on the computer, on the PowerPoint, but I wasn't really sure. So I decided, I worked for an internship, and I saved for, actually I worked in California for an internship, and from like student savings, like from student stipend, I kept saving. Then I saved up to 10,000 USD. Then from the 10,000 USD is the money that I started with, like giving those small, like giving those loans or those small financial capital to start the businesses. So then I was like planning to do, like 2019 was my year to do like a prototype, to show that actually I can convince an investor that this is actually an impactful program where you can invest on your money. So now the thing of the pandemic showed up, it screwed up everything, all my plans I had, the people I wanted to reach out. It is really like challenging now to reach, like, some companies are locked and people are like in financial crisis globally, and reach out to somebody and say, please donate to YABB, please donate. It is really, really complicated. So it has been really challenging, but they have been like trying to do other different ways, reaching out people. I've been consulting people how to do fundraising. I know I'm not an expert in everything. I might be an expert of inspiring these young people, but maybe I'm part of fundraising. But I'm also working with other people that could help me like do the fundraising. That's why even we came up with GoFundMe. The reason of GoFundMe, because of the pandemic. Now you can imagine most young people now, the unemployment goes really high. You can imagine in here in our communities. So like that, for the aim of the GoFundMe was to raise up to 38,000 USD to make sure like now we wanted to get more than 1,000 young people again in the program. So that money was specifically for that. But because of the an economic situation around the world now, but I'm still optimistic that things will come out. I'm very I'm looking forward to find means, other ways of how I can convince people or share with people who are willing. I also try to apply to different opportunities, different competitions, but I haven't won. I haven't been successful in any. But I'm trying to find all different ways and how they.
Yeah, that's definitely exciting. It's exciting to hear.
Apart from the GoFundMe, it has been my personal saving to push on the program.
Gotcha. That's really exciting to hear your plans to expand as well, to reach 1,000 students and more. And then hopefully, I know like from your website, you said you're starting in Rwanda, but expanding beyond there as well. So I guess as an extension of that question though, so you mentioned the struggles that you've had now, like with like trying to publicly fund given the circumstances we found ourselves in. But on the flip side to that, when you're providing the loans to the young professionals, what does that repayment process look like? Like you mentioned that for the most part, it's a trust-based system. So how do you go about like establishing that relationship with the young professionals in a way that, when they do start making a profit, you can, recoup those loans and start helping more students after? Like, what has that experience been like for you?
The experience is really great. So first of all, like when there are challenges, but we are looking at, because when I was designing the program, I wasn't designing only for Rwanda, I was designing for mostly sub-Saharan Africa, because we face the same challenges. Young people, the challenges they are facing here in Rwanda, the same in Tanzania, the same in Zimbabwe, the same in Mozambique, the same in Southern Sudan, the same in Somalia, the same in Ethiopia. So now we're looking at how we can maybe keep expanding the program to other different countries. But of course, as the situation stables and we're seeing right now the results are really good in Rwanda, however much maybe the approach might be kind of different depending on the environment, but the concept will be the same. So for the part of the loan, actually for me, I've been really grateful. I didn't believe at the beginning. Actually, my friends were telling me, so what if you give these young people the money and they don't return it back? And then I was like, that's true, but but I just the meeting has been.
I think there was a message about a time limit, but apparently there was a gift from Zoom, so we have additional time.
Okay,
so
okay.
We're all set.
Maybe that's great. Let's try to summarize. So then for like right now, some of them have already paid back, and we have already used that money to give it other young people. So the only the things that have been helping us to be successful on them paying back the money, because we follow them up. Every group has somebody like from a team that has followed them up. They provide their monthly action plan, what they're supposed to be doing in this week, what they're supposed to be doing in the next week, and at the end of the month they have to provide us a report. So the why we're doing that one is to keep them on track. Like if maybe some, because of something that is beyond and out of their control, they planted some stuff, or they have like chicken and maybe something came in or a disease came. So we have to follow them up. If there is a challenge, then we find them, we see what is the challenge, so we can solve the challenge before so that they don't lose all that and the money. And the other thing, we also put like 10% interest, putting into consideration that 10% can recover if one of the business fail to pay back the money. Question can come out of their control, and maybe because of floods and because of heavy rains and their garden is washed away. We put all those into consideration. But so far we haven't received any challenge, because they do trust us. And the first thing is to be with them, to train them. When we are training them, when we are selecting them, when we are talking to them, that's when we build this trust. And because they're in the group, they have leadership when they're in a group, let's say they're a group of 10, they have the vice president, they have the president, vice president, the treasurer, the secretary, like people who are doing like different. So they have like responsibility. They have to meet within themselves. Actually, let me give you one of the success stories so far. Something that really touched my heart, and I felt like maybe crying. I don't know why, but recently it was in December last year in 2020. Then I was there. I was just thinking, and how do we work on YABB? And so from now, I received a call like from one of the representative from one of the group. He's called Nepo. He called me and he's like, "Hey Norman, how are you? One, thank you for the a lot we are doing for YABB, what YABB has been doing to us. So next season after harvesting, which will be starting harvesting in February, they said they want to support one group also. Now they already pay back the loan and they want to contribute to support another group. So they will be giving $300 to support another group as the way of paying back, which for me was like, wow,
That's incredible.
Like, it was really incredible. It was really incredible. And so they also inspire others. Like right now, but we haven't had like a really big challenge on them paying back the money. It has been really, really successful. Only one, so far it has been one idea, but they had other different challenges and problems like they have faced. Like it was beyond. It was not because they were careless, but because we follow them. Like we give them a mentor has to follow them up, has to call them, hey, how is everything? We have to organize field trips because we train them on their fields. Before actually the other thing, how we reduce the risk of them not using money or making the money lose, like we give them also, they are going to do agriculture, we give them like in installments. They say, okay, now we are going to prepare the land, we need this money, we give them. Okay, have you prepared the land? Is the land ready? Yeah, okay. Now we need the seeds. Okay, get the money for seeds. Now they get the seeds they put on. Okay, now we are on the point of maybe there are pests that are coming and we need some pesticides. We need this and the amount is this. Then we provide to them that. So like to reduce like them getting the money and using it other things that are not related.
So actually, given that we have a little bit of extra time now, which is great from Zoom, if you don't mind, I just have three more major questions three more major questions I wanted to ask. One of them was surrounding the topic of mentorship as well. So you mentioned mentors a couple of times throughout your responses. And I'd love to learn more about how that relationship looks and like works over time as well, because you mentioned it's about a 2-year time span for mentorship. So is that primarily steered by the mentors, or do you have young professionals who are very willing to, reach out to their mentors, ask for guidance and support? Or are the mentors more of just kind of like a supervising role over that 2-year period where they have YABB support? What does that really look like on like maybe a weekly or a monthly basis when a mentor is connecting with a young professional?
Yeah, so we have like a team and like teams. YABB, thank you for a good question. We have like YABB teams like that are really, really willing to volunteer and reach out, who are really passionate about the cause. So the majority were using volunteers who are really passionate about this, but they have experience in business ideas. So whenever we correspond one group with a mentor, we know like this mentor is passionate about, or he has skills in this, or he has this and this. So what they do is just to follow them up. But the big part is played out by YABB to make sure like we follow them up. Actually, we know they are talking to the mentor. The mentor can be either like when they want to ask for advices, they want to diversify their idea, they want to improve, or they want to expand, or they want, but whenever they discuss with their mentor and also they get to us, or they get to me, like, hey, this is what we discussed, this our mentor came to visit us. So, but other part of logistics is just follow them. It's just to know like the thing, like the action plan, they are following the action plan. If it is planting, they're there. If it is weeding, removing unwanted like other stuff, we will make sure they are doing it. If it is harvest, we know that they have already harvested on the appropriate time. If it is selling, we ensure that they actually access the market. They said on the fair price, they didn't like being cheated. Also, the part of the mentor is just to give them like some encouragement, like when they have technical assistance, they need somebody, and sometimes when the mentor is not able to do that, then we are able to reach out to them. But the idea we are putting mentors is so for them to have like somebody, maybe to reduce kind of burden, but for them to have somebody who has an expert in the field where they're doing, who can share with them, also inspire them to be more successful. But we're looking at different people, like those who are like, we have like some professors that are helping me, my former professors who are helping me to do that. I have some friends, like we studied together at the university who are doing that. I have like people like really reached out, they're like, wow, this is really great. There are even other people we identify, they have some skills. So what I did was send them an email and say, hey, I'm Norman. I have this program. I would like you to support. At least I have this young, like 2 groups. They're working on this. I will feel free if you don't mind. They can always reach out to you and create. So we are creating that strong relationship with the mentor. Like the kids can feel free whenever. Maybe for me, I might come and they say, hey, this is, because sometimes when you go there, they take you as like, hey, but when they have like somebody, like, when you have your mentor, you can share with everything, all like you have your heart, they ask them questions and inspire them, and yeah. And even
That's awesome.
sort of, also like a mentor, also like solving other also like community problems. Like they face many challenges. They might have some of them, like the member of the group might have family issues. He need some counseling. He need to be encouraged to move on in life. He need to, yeah. So
That's awesome. So actually, that addresses a lot of the questions that I had about mentorship, and it sounds like you have some really impactful mentors who are willing to not only help the young professionals that you work with, but also help recruit like more people as well, which actually ties really neatly into my next question, which was about how you spread the word about YABB and around Rwanda and maybe even beyond that as well. So of course you have a social media presence, but you mentioned earlier that a lot of the people that you're working with don't always have consistent access to phones either. So like, what are your major tools of communication, and how would you recommend, people who are working in their communities reach out to other people, maybe in more unique ways and just like using like the typical kind of social media essential kind of like outreach that we always associate with marketing, but what are some other unique ways you've been able to get the word out about the program, either through your mentors, through your young professionals, or in other ways too?
So like so far, we have some like who are already actually university graduates. Those are easy to send email to share with them. They follow us on our social media. When we have something like opportunities, we share with them. But we also have another group. If they need to apply for an opportunity, if they need to go develop their business idea, we have to take our laptops and go sit with them and help them out and like. But I found it much more effective when I go in the community and I sit with them and I talk to them and I spend with them like 5 hours when we are sharing, and they create that sense of trust and sense of belonging that they can actually share with you everything they really need, like they feel, and actually they share with you on how they are seeing the program and how actually the program can help them improve or advance on the activities they are looking they're working on. So we are using the both, like those who don't have access to internet, we use phone calls. So like normally for me, I charge and I put on the credits, then I can call mostly maybe I talk to the readers, then I communicate when I don't want to go there, maybe I communicate with the information, go there and they reach out to them. But maybe in the future, if maybe things go well, we can see how maybe one of the group leaders will ensure that actually the group leader has maybe a smartphone. He can be like, like their president can get the information if you want to share with some information. That's what we have been trying to say to do. I remember like out of like 10, 7 groups from their first harvest, and I was saying we look at how we can like support them, maybe have access to internet, have access to smartphone or computers, so they can be like right now, because most of the things are being on because of the pandemic, they need to more like move to digital and learn how they can use like those platforms, how do they market their produce. So them having internet and access to technology is very, very, very important. And that's what were the next steps and what we are thinking of, how actually each group maybe having a computer or a smartphone that they can easily access, like they use the internet or use social media. So yeah, that's how I was telling you, we are trying to make sure at least each group in the next, maybe if we get some donation, make sure that at least each group can have a smartphone or a computer, and make sure they have internet. And that's what we always encourage. Like I told you, now we have 7 groups. From the profits they made, they were able to to buy themselves smartphone, like a smartphone for the group, for the business, so where they can access daily updates. When I want to send them, like sometimes I always create videos or look at a video which is really inspirational, then I send it to them. I can send them a document, I read, and or maybe the opportunities also use, like they make sure they put their ideas online, people can understand what they're doing. So like internet is really, really important. So maybe for the, like an advice I would give it to the next, like other business or other organization that I'd be interested, they should look at into that and see which approach actually, regardless, you can't refuse to go and support them, because the reason you have to look at why do they have internet, why don't they have access to smartphones? Maybe the smartphone is very expensive, and if the smartphone is very expensive, talk about the computer is more expensive, right? And if at the end, if they have the smartphone, are they able to have the money to buy the internet? So that's why we have to first from the root. Why? What is the problem? They don't have money. They're poor. So what is it that they can do that can generate some opportunities for them, that can generate income for them? So that when we already have their business, now they're making money. Now they can be able to buy themselves a smartphone. They can be able to buy the computer. They can be able to buy data. They can be able to communicate. They can be able to go on the internet and read other stuff. But you can't now go and give them a smartphone. For me, I can't go and give them a smartphone when this smartphone actually they cannot maintain the internet, the data bundle they have to buy. So I have to first of all look at what source, which is something like a source they can generate for them, something that can really sustainable. Look at like sustainability of what they're doing. Yeah.
Gotcha. That's actually really helpful to hear. And actually, on the topic now of, just being connected, like using different resources, or, maybe working with individuals who may not have consistent access, what does that online platform that you were talking about earlier look like? Like, how do you use that online platform as a tool to market?
Okay. Can I share my screen?
Oh, sure.
So the platform I was telling you, let me go here. It is called Afri Farmers Market, right? Can you? So this is the website. Do you see the website, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the website. You can see here, like they are like, it's like going online. Like when you're shopping online, you can see we have orange, we have apple, we have watermelon, we have tomatoes. Like you see that here there are different categories. We have vegetables, because the reason we focused more on vegetables and fruits, they are perishables, and imagine they're in rural areas and they don't have means like post-harvest losses. After harvesting, if they have tomatoes, of course they have to be already on the market, and if they can't be on the market, they can't get somebody to buy, then they are going to make losses. And the other challenge, because they are in rural areas, and they have 1 hectare, they are going to harvest maybe 2 tons of tomatoes, or 2 tons or 3 tons of vegetables, of watermelon. So they don't have someone to buy it. So that's this platform was created to help them now access stable market in the city, in the restaurants, and even abroad, people who might want to, even for export in the near future. And we're doing that one. So this is the platform I was telling you. You can order everything, and so you can go in different categories. Here you have fruits. You can click on parts of fresh vegetables, and they will all show up. So you can make all your orders. And the other thing they do, we have others here. They say we create other, even on this platform, but those are not actually related with young people, but we do like inspire people to eat healthy, sensitizing people to eat more fruits and vegetables, because there is still a problem of malnutrition, and we want also how we can avoid that means of malnutrition. So the problem of malnutrition. So yeah, and we have many ways here. They say Momo Pay. We have like means, because now it is COVID, so we want people to also start using online platforms, to like not just exchange money in cash, so they can, yeah. So yeah.
This is incredible. Thank you so much for sharing your screen so people can like take a look at the market as well. This is really exciting to see, and it's actually encouraging that there's so many resources available. Even when you're like working in a business that's like typically like allows a lot of manual physical labor, you can still make use of digital platforms to reach new customers as well. So thank you for sharing this.
So thank you. So here we put all things they do. Like there are those who are in eggs, and so they have eggs. they're like other tubers. I don't know if you know cassava, the beans, but the matoke. So this is banana is the one I can see the one that here, they like there is a banana we cook, not like in the US only banana is for like a fruit eating, but here they pray then Irish. So there, and I'm also working on this, like creating, because if I get more resources, then I make the platform much more like much more attractive. But it is easy to use. It is very easy. Also, we put other means like there is another way you can. So here there is a way we put. I can't even. Sorry, but there is many ways we make it easier for people to harvest. Sorry, to order. There is a way you can just click here on the website, but there is also another way where on the same website where you can click and you order on WhatsApp. So like it comes directly to our yeah.
That's so awesome. Wow. Okay. Yeah, definitely. I hope are there ways that people can support this platform, and of course like your program through your GoFundMe, but are there ways people can support this platform from like other regions as well, for maybe people who are watching who maybe don't have connections to Rwanda but would like to continue supporting this effort?
Right now I haven't received anyone who's willing to support, but if there is anyone, of course, I would really be happy to support, because this is like right now we are in the lockdown. This is right now making a huge impact, because like right now our young people who are doing this, they are not scared of who's gonna buy. So we created a store for them. Let me see if I have. Let me see if I have something. So do you see, I think you can still see my screen, right? Yeah, so this is like where it is called Chimirongo. It is in Kigali, where we have a store. This is like some of the produce in our store. So where we collect, like the truck goes and collect from all our young people and even other farmers, not because some of them, they don't like, I think they don't have. So for us to meet the demand, we collect even from other farmers and come bring it and put it in our store. So a person can come in person, park his car and enter our store and buy, or you can be just at home as like we've been seeing here and also order, And we put many ways. This is the one I was telling you to order with WhatsApp. So it just goes when you do, then you can order here. So when you order on these ones, then automatically comes on a WhatsApp number, like the things you need and other ways. Yeah.
That's so clever. I feel like I'm on WhatsApp all the time now, so it's so clever to have it connected to WhatsApp as well.
Yeah, we have a mobile. Also, we have apps like mobile app. But right now the one for it is not working. The Apple one is not working. The one which is working for Android. The Apple one, they told me I need to pay, is it $150 to like the Apple to accept, so that they can. I said, okay, I don't have the money at the moment, but maybe in the near future I will.
I didn't know there was a barrier. That's crazy. Okay.
Yes, so please go ahead with some other questions.
Yeah. I mean, you already addressed like so much, and I don't want to take up too much more of your time. This has been incredibly helpful, and I'm so excited to share this with the Wilson Empower community and hopefully beyond as well. So I guess just to wrap up, given the topic of the book is about, uplifting and empowering your community, what maybe tips or advice do you have for people who would like to give back to their communities as well, based on your personal experiences? Like, how do you recommend that others, go ahead and uplift and empower?
Yeah, first of all is to do something that you are really passionate about. Something that you something that you like, something that you feel stronger about, like, and you want to do. Like, I would say I have met many challenges while implementing this program, and some other lessons, maybe some things I've really learned. Like, if you need to do something, it has to come from within your heart, like something that you're really passionate about and why you want to do it. So when you have that passion, when you have that's something that is driving you, that is supporting you to go and do it. Whenever you meet those challenges, that passion, that motive behind will keep you strong while you're working on that idea. So when I was working on this one, at times I couldn't, like, remember times, like right now I'm unemployed, but I still have to go in the village and inspire them. I have to chase my personal bills, but I also have to go. I know I don't have a job, but I have to go and inspire these young people. I say, hey, you can make it in life. So that it takes that the motive behind that, the courage within you, the why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? Because if not, you just give up. Like times when I was like, oh, what am I going to do with these people? Like I remember we were supposed we get like some young people in the program, and we had to visit them. We had to do, and I was really running out of money. And there are other young people who are already, their land was already prepared. They wanted to start planting some of the crops. Then I was like, oh my God, how? Maybe I started this too early. Maybe I should have waited. Maybe first make money. Maybe, but it depends also on the passion. And the other thing is when you want to bring an impact, know which impact are you bringing. Like for me, what I did right now, because if I come to you, I say, is it your name pronounced as Daniel?
Yeah, Danielle.
Daniela? Daniel. So if come and say, Daniel, I have this idea, please would you? Of course, you look at what I've already done, like when you see the impact. So most of people, what they do, you sit there and you think, I say, oh, there is poverty in Africa. And let me just go take their idea. Let me just go. But you don't know the idea you're bringing. Are they people? How are they people going to like people? Are they the receivers, the beneficiaries? How are they going to use that idea? How are they going to use that approach that you're bringing in? So you have to first understand like the people you're working with, and how they're going to you're trying to support and trying to help. How are they going to receive the idea? How is it going to be useful to them? So right now I have to first go, for me, like implementation, first sit with them, like, and that's why most, like I would say, most ideas, that initiatives that have been coming to tackle poverty and hunger and other problems like water, and other things that here healthcare that like most developing countries are facing, and now the majority have not been successful because they don't bring like the idea, like they don't, and how are people like bring something that people actually need and help them drive it, not just you coming and imposing it on them, right? I have an idea and I want to help young people like for this. Yeah, I first sit with them. What do you really want to do? I can't come. If I give you an example, maybe I don't know why you didn't ask me. Why don't you give them ideas? Why do you want them to develop their own ideas, right? So the idea is like, if I come, let me give you an example. If I come and I say, I want you to start growing tomatoes, but I'm imposing you. Yeah, it's a good idea. I'm going to give you the money. I'm going to give you the resources, but I want you to grow tomatoes. After growing tomatoes, you don't have the market. You're not even interested. Even the climate, the land, the area is not good for growing tomatoes. So at the end, I've invested everything. I'm going to go and I've done this in Africa and the point this and this. I've done this. I'm proud. But at the end, the sustainability of the project, how is it going to be in the future? But right now, for me, if I go and sit with them, I say, what do you want to do? Tell me your idea and I can support your idea. They feel actually when, like, they even reduce the problem, like when it fails, like, it was for the idea. For me, I didn't even like it. I didn't like the idea, but it's them selecting their passion, their idea. So you support their passion. Like if you see maybe you have a kid like is into sports, then you support the kid into sports. That's how like even the things should go. Like those who want to you know to support, to give back. But or you have to have courage, you have to have the passion, you have to have the reason why we're starting, and they should be actually. That's how we can even help. If you have reached somewhere, like the reason I'm doing this one, maybe a little bit of background of myself. Maybe it's not necessary, but I know I also grew up in a humble background. It was really hard for me maybe to go to school. I remember I had to pay my own school fees to make sure I got to school, to find ways on how I can get the money to take me back to school. Because my idea, all my prayer was, how can I go to school? I wanted to go to get education. So like enough, I got a scholarship and I felt like I should give back. I should at least help somebody, like a young guy who was in the same condition or worse condition like I was when I was like still growing up. How I not have much, but the little I have, I can help somebody. And that's how the little we have, if we share it with a neighbor, we share it with a friend, we share with those vulnerables, they can actually always. And that's how we can have a better sustainable development where everyone has equal opportunities, and we don't have, again, mentioning the problem of hunger, mentioning the problem of poverty, other people. Why not? And there are even people who are called billionaires. So what if if you're a billionaire, have maybe 10 billions, and you just take 0.05 and help somebody, so it would also create a big impact.
I'm so glad that you shared what you shared, because the core part of what I'm writing about in Uplift and Empower, and like all of what I've been trying to, to spread the word about, is this importance of making sure that the help you're providing to someone is actually necessary, and that you spend as much time teaching as you do listening and having conversations and engaging with your community and getting to know what the needs are, and then filling the gaps based on your local knowledge. So I'm so glad that YABB does that. I'm super passionate about the idea, and I'm really excited to share this with other people as well, because I think this is exactly what I'm talking about in my writing. So to see it happening in real time, to see you successful, to see you expanding to 900 plus students and growing is absolutely incredible, and like a clear example of that. The importance of working with people from where they are and helping them grow, and like helping them uplift and empower themselves is absolutely critical. So thank you so much again.
Yeah, thank you so much also for reaching out. Thank you I know it was hard to meet and have time. We always miss. Sometimes we had some challenges. Other we are not available. Other times you're also not available. But I'm really glad that we were able to make this. And yeah, feel free if you have some ideas to come and join YABB. YABB is like, my passion is all about YABB, but I know as an individual, I can't achieve all. I would need other people who are in different way, can share ideas, can share resources, can share connections, can share everything. Any idea is very, very important to us at YABB. As you can see, YABB is just still growing. It's just solo. We have a small team. Like what I'm doing is just passion. Actually, that's why I quitted. Like, I didn't ask for a job. I wanted to first strengthen it. Now it is during the pandemic. Then I realized, like, if I get a job, then I will need to fully spend my time on a job, like in a job on government job or other jobs. Then YABB, I might forget about YABB. That's why I want to strengthen it and give hope these young guys. I know right now what I'm giving them is not something like that is going to help them overcome poverty. It's immediately, automatically. But at least I'm giving them hope. And when there is hope for the future, then it gives you power in the present. Right now, like, you can work on, actually, because you are seeing something you are targeting. So if you have something really, if you are running a marathon and you're almost in the finish line, you're seeing there's somewhere you are looking and something you are targeting on, something beautiful you want to achieve, then it gives you much hope, like, to keep moving where you are and overcome all the challenges. And that's what the YABB is trying to do. Maybe in the next, I don't know, in the next maybe 8 years, in 2030, maybe we will have more than 15 young people in the program giving testimonies and also empowering other people. So, of course, like, I'm glad you're also passionate about poverty alleviation. If you want to join our team, or if you want to join in a way of giving ideas or being our ambassador, in any way you feel like, yeah, you're most welcome.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. I'm definitely looking forward to keeping in touch and hearing more about YABB and everything keeping up. So thank you so much. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Awesome.